Hare Krishna. First of all, my heartfelt gratitude for inviting me here. Shraddhaya kriyate iti Shraadha. First of all, I want to tell you that all the information or discussion that I'm going to do is based on Vedic scriptures. So, only having faith in the Vedic scriptures will make my speech relevant to you. Otherwise, it will be a useless talk. So, our Vedas say that Shraddhaya kriyate iti Shraddha, which means what is done with faith is only called Shraddha. And faith is the basis of this Shraddha performance. Shraddha is not, as generally people feel, an inauspicious activity or a shuchi activity which needs to have a purificatory rituals and that one day we become pure from the impurity or ashocha. It is actually very spiritual activity if done with full faith and dedication. That is the first prerequisite. Shraddha is ineffective if there is no love for the deceased person who has departed from this world. If there is no dharma acharan, if there is no following of the spiritual or religious rituals in day-to-day life by people, and if there is no faith in the process, if these three things are there, then the Shraddha is ineffective. In other words, it will become very effective and relevant to all of us if we have faith in the process, if we love the person whom we have lost, and if we are reasonably spiritual in our day-to-day lifestyle. Shraddha is also based on eternal principle that life doesn't begin with the beginning of this life as birth, and life doesn't end at the end of this body. It is based on the fact that life is eternal, birth after birth. Life after life we live. Only we get in one particular body and we change the body at the time of death and go into another body and then another life like that. If there is no continuity of life, then Shraddha loses its relevance. Because Shraddha ceremony is done to facilitate the onward journey of the departed soul. If we don't believe in that, if there is no journey at all, then there is no purpose in rituals or performances to facilitate the onward progressive spiritual journey of the soul. So, the basis of Shraddha ceremony is respect, love, affection, gratitude, and feeling of obligation. Now our respected Bhatmams will perform, and we have many important ingredients in the performance of Shraddha ritual. One is black sesame seeds, kala til. This kala til has come into existence due to the droplets of sweat or water from the body of Lord Varahadev. Lord Varahadev appeared to kill Hiranyaksha, and he went in the Garbhodaka ocean to lift the earth, and he got wet, the earth got wet. When he came out of the ocean, he shook his body, and whatever water from his body fell down on earth, from there black til came up. Wherever his hair fell down due to shaking, kusha grass that you have, kusha, came up on the earth. So this til which we use, black til in Shraddha, is representing sneha, the love and affection that you have for the deceased. The akshata, the rice that we use, which we chant mantras and use them in various ways in Shraddha, that represents duty, kartavya. And the water that we chant mantras and use, we do Achmanam, we do so many other procedures, we turn around the water around so many holy items. That water represents bhakti that we have towards our beloved Supreme Lord. So Shraddha is the process by which we keep connection with our beloved ancestors, immediate, next generation and further generation. Technically 3 generations ahead of us. We keep expressing our gratitude to them and keep providing them nourishment through our process. And this helps us to remain grateful to our dear ancestors. The ceremony of Shraddha is connecting us with 3 previous generations. That means our mother, father, and their mother, father, and their mother, father. In short, father, grandfather, and great grandfather. In Sanskrit terms, we call as Pita, Pitamaha, and Prapitamaha. And Prapitamaha's father is called as Vriddha Pitamaha. And Vriddha Pitamaha is supposed to get released from the cycles of birth and death by continual performance of Shraddha by the people like us who are surviving here. Pitru Loka is the gateway of Swarga Loka. After departure from this world as a human being, we enter Pitru Loka. And then Pitru Loka we stay. We can stay shorter time as 1 day also, or we may have to stay for 3 generations of us, myself, my child, and my child's child. These 3 generations may have to keep performing the Shraddha ceremony, and then they may enter into Swargaloka. Or if we are dedicated to the devotional service to the Lord in this lifetime, then by performance of Shraddha, immediately also we can go back to our beloved Lord. Swargaloka is not the abode of the Supreme Lord. Swargaloka is in between station. Spiritual world is beyond that. So there are 3 destinations. From Pitraloka, the Jiva either goes to from this one to this particular earth planet they go to Pitraloka, from there go to Swargaloka, or from there they can go further to spiritual world, or they can come back to the earthly planet to take birth again, depending on the karma account which is kept by Chitragupta, Yamraj, and so many other people. Continuous Shraddha provides Anna Poshana to the souls which come back to earth. As I told, some of them will return back to earth. So our Pindadan here is carried forward by some of the powerful demigods to those people who have taken birth on earth in different human body, in different family, in the form of spiritual nourishment for further progress into the evolution of the soul. And those who go to Swargaloka by progressive journey, then in Swargaloka they are given Amruta Poshan by the demigods. The person who takes care of the deceased soul is Yamraj, who takes charge of the Preta and the soul which is going ahead. After going to Pitraloka, there is one demigod called Aryama, who takes care of the stay and the journey of the soul from Pitraloka or in Pitraloka. If the soul travels from Pitraloka to Swargaloka, then Indra Devata will take charge of that soul, and whatever we offer from here, he will convert into Amruta and feed that soul. And in that case, if the karmas are very good and powerful, the soul will travel further, not come down on earth again. So this is called as Anna Poshana on earth or Amrut Poshana in Swargaloka. So many people ask, as I went one time to Mangalore, and my great senior relative, very elderly person, 80 years old, he was performing Shraddha for his mother and we happened to be there. So I asked him, Uncle, how many years one has to perform this Shraddha? So he said, very, very significant, which is struck in my heart forever. He said, the rin that we have for our mother and father is so deep and so not payable. We cannot repay and get free from that debt. It's so deep that even if you perform Shraadha of your mother and father till the end of this life, you cannot repay. Life after life, you have to keep doing. So, on your behalf, when we pass away, our children have to keep doing. Because the activity of bearing the child in the womb for 9 months and raising the child with the help of the husband is so great that one can never think, even in emotion or in dream, that I can repay or I have repaid or I have done my duty. That kind of gratitude we must keep for our mother and father. That's why we should never think that, oh, I've done for 10 years now. It's enough. How much I can do? How much more I can do? Then third thing is, who is eligible to perform this Shraadha? One interesting point here is, the Shraadha karma is meant for only those who are in human body. Shraadha karma is not applicable to those who are in the lower species of life, that is Pashu, Pakshi or insects or any other life. Only human are having that subtle body, Karana Deha, with which the humans or we who are now in human body, the soul that is in human body, can travel to higher planets. What happens to animals or lower species when they die? They immediately go by the medium of Vayu, by the power of Vayu Dev. They go from one animal body or one lower species to next lower species. From bird to reptiles, maybe reptiles to mammals, maybe whatever the destiny is in the cycle of evolution of 84 lakhs of species, they will travel from one to another next immediately. But when the soul will come into human body by the power of process of evolution, then there is a possibility, by following the instructions of Vedas, to go further into higher planets and then further to reach the supreme planet of the Lord. So what is the goal of this whole process of Shraadha? Why we perform Shraadha? Why should we ever perform the Shraadha? Because the original abode or our original home is the Supreme Lord's home. That is, in our scriptures, Vedas, it is mentioned Goloka Vrindavan, where Lord, the Supreme Lord, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, He resides there. And we all belong there. And some of you have lost that eternal residence and we have come down into material world, and we are going from body to body in the repeated cycles of birth and death, birth and death and birth and death, and this cycle just goes on like merry-go-round. This process breaks that cycle, or we hope to break that cycle through this following of instructions given in the Vedas. And that way, the repeated birth and death is broken, and after one particular death, we get released from that merry-go-round. And we then travel further. Just getting released is not achievement of the destiny. Getting released is beginning the journey towards home again, that we have lost long time back. So we start our journey, then we go to Pitraloka, stay there for some time, progress further to Swargaloka, and from there we hope to journey towards the spiritual world. But if our bhakti is very strong, we don't need to take this long tour. Right from here, instantly we can go back to the abode of Lord Sri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. That is called Parama Vaikunta. There are Ananta Vaikuntas, but there is a Parama Vaikunta beyond all the Vaikuntas, which is called Goloka Vrindavan. One can reach that abode instantly. Anta kale cha mameva swaran muktva kalevaram. If we, by our power of devotion, remember the Lord, the dear Lord, Almighty Lord, powerful Lord, beloved Lord, if we remember Him fondly, then on the spot we are taken by a different set of demigods straight to Goloka Vrindavan. And those people are called as Vishnudutas. They come straight from the Supreme Vaikuntha. They are 4 in number usually, and they come in the aeroplane, which is bedecked with jewels, shining like millions of suns. Or Lord sends Garuda with His own personal associate and takes us back to His own abode. There are various descriptions of these beautiful aeroplanes that come. So all of us are eligible to board that aeroplane, provided we have practiced throughout the life remembrance of the Lord And we do remember the Lord at the moment of departure. And that departure memory itself will take us back home instantly. And the Lord will embrace us in His loving embrace. So, these are a few important points. Now, always the question comes, who can perform the Shraadha? Who is eligible? The person who performs the Shraadha, by his dint of spiritual power, the person whom he is performing the Shraadha for, gets the speed. It's like, depending on the expertise and experience of the surgeon, there is a cure for the patient. If there is a doctor is very new and is doing first operations, then you don't want to trust him so much to operate your body. But the more experience the doctor has, the surgeon has, then it's very easy for you to have full faith that I'll be fully cured in few minutes. Like in our eye camps, there are eye surgeons who do the cataract operation in 20 minutes or 25 minutes. There are some who can do in 15 minutes, and the champion surgeon can do in 5 minutes. With 5 minutes, there is no complication also at the same time. The results are 100% and very beautiful. So, the experience, dedication, devotion, commitment that he has provided in his profession for so many years makes him powerful to release your eye in 5 minutes. Similarly, the performer of the Shraadha ceremony, if he is spiritually empowered, if he is saintly, he is sattvic, he is divine in his own lifestyle, in his own nature, in his own demeanor, when he performs Shraadha for somebody, the person who is receiving his Shraadha gets a high-speed aeroplane to go ahead. And at the same time, the person performing Shraadha is, say, sinful, doing wrong activities, he cheats people or he earns money by wrong means or so many and so forth wrong activities, then instead of getting benefit, the person who is receiving the Shraadha ceremony gets damage or gets loss. That is why it is important to know who is doing the Shraadha. And it's just, ideally speaking, the son should do as a first choice. But the son is not righteous or spiritual or religious in nature, then instead of benefit, there is a loss for the person who is deceased. This one must understand. If I am performing Shraadha for my father, if I am enough spiritually empowered, then my father will be benefited immensely. And my father onwards journey will think, I am very fortunate to have a son like this. Or if the sinful son does the Shraadha ceremony, father will be suffering so much on the journey that he will keep cursing himself, why I gave birth to this kind of son. I am so much damaged by his rituals in my journey which I want to take up on the way back to Godhead. So I'll just enumerate all of you because it may come across in your life, because death is an inevitable fact of life. I may not accept it today, but inevitably everybody is going. Dharmaraj also was asked by Yamraj, what is the most surprising thing in the world? And Aho Ashcharyam, he answered that everybody is dying, but the one who are living, they think they will not die. And they also succumb, and then the others who are remaining, they think, I will not die. They make plans for their future life. So, being inevitable event of life, the most surprising thing further than that is, no one is preparing for that exam, which is coming inevitably. All the other exams, NEET and IIT entrance and so many things are there. We prepare so much, and so many years of our life we spend in preparing and becoming successful in that exam. But it is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't give NEET or IIT entrance. Some people give. Some people give this and some people give that. But everyone gives or has to give the exam of death. But nobody is preparing for that. That is another Ashcharyam which we have to think about. The exam that we have to give, have to write, we are not preparing at all. In fact, we are thinking it is inauspicious to think about death, and we just keep the thought aside. Why to think inauspicious? It is not right time to think. It's too early to think like that. But there is nothing like too early or too late for death to come. We say as sure as death. What does that mean? It definitely comes, and the most certain thing, that is death, happens most uncertain way. Nobody can say when. As sure as death, but don't know when. That is the nature of death. That means Like in today's schools, we have surprise test. And which test is there, we don't know. Which subject and which day and what time. It's just declared surprise. That means what? All students have to be prepared all time to take up that test and be successful. So what you mothers are doing always, just letting them study constantly so that they are ready for any test that comes and they pass with flying colors. So we have to think very deeply about this reality of life. Although we may not believe, but when it comes, we believe, and we have to believe. And when it comes and we believe, it is most of the times too late to believe. So there is no time to prepare, right? So who can do Shraadha? The first rite of the doing Shraadha is son. Out of many sons, if they are there, then the oldest son. If there is no son, for example, then do you have a adopted son? Then he has a second right. If there is no adopted son and no son, then there is grandson. How can a grandson come without son? The son can die in your life. Is it possible? In my presence, my son can die, and then my son may be married and he may be having a son. So that is grandson. So his right is the third one. Then in that absence of all these things, even the wife can do Shraadha. Then even daughter can do Shraadha. Then the daughter's son also, that's called Dauhitra. Dauhitra means the daughter's son. He can do Shraadha. If he is also not available, then brother can do Shraadha. If brother is not available, brother's son can do. That is called as Putanya. That is, we say Putanyo. Or all these people are not available, but the father is still alive. He is 80-year-old and the son is 60-year-old. He died. And the father also can do Shraadha. Then, if father also not there, now we are not talking about ideal situations. We are talking about this not there, that not there. Then we are going further down. What can be the other option? Even the mother can do Shraadha if she is alive and the son is dying or the daughter is dying. If that's also not available, daughter-in-law can do Shraadha. Even she is not available, sister can do Shraadha. If sister is not available, Mata's brother can do Shraadha. And if none of these people are available, you may think, how none of these people are available? Because of nuclear families. You are married and you have only one offspring. Either one girl is there or one boy is there. Then if one boy is there, how can mama be there? Well, mother also was only single. She didn't have brother. So no mama. Father was single, then no kaka. So today, this is a reality. It was a surprising situation in the past, but today, it's a reality. There is no one. There is no relative only. So then what happens? Then a disciple can do the Shraadha. If a person is like a teacher, his student can do Shraadha. Or the Upadhyay, the Brahman can do Shraadha on his behalf. Or a friend can do a Shraadha. The last one is son-in-law also can do Shraadha. There are 17, one after that, 17 people are there to do Shraadha. So, do we need to take so much trouble? The answer is yes. Because human life is so precious that one good thing is in human life. That is association or Sangha or Satsanga. We need people to live more than any other species of life. All other species of life also live in community. But the meaning of community is much more deeper for our life as human beings. And with the help of people only, we can expect to progress in life and after life also. After life, in life we are having this body and so many resources with the body, relationships and powers and contacts and so many things. But as we lose this body in the event of death, then what happens? Then we are alone. That too, body is gone, only soul is there and mind, intelligence, ahankar is there. Karana Deha, Sukshma Deha is traveling and we are only looking at others to help us. And when a duty-bound, dutiful son, loving son performs, who is spiritually very sound, it's a blessing for the father. That's why the father has to train the son in spirituality when he is alive and he has given birth to son, so that the son in return returns his debt to his father by his spiritual power. And the onward journey becomes very easy for that person whose son is a devotee of the Lord. It is explained in scriptures, especially in Garud Purana, that when a eligible, spiritually sound son performs the Shraadha ceremony, the father, the soul of the father who is traveling further, is thanking and thanking and thanking immensely to that person who is doing Shraadha for him. Along with the son who is doing Shraadha, those beloved relatives who are there around, and if they are praying and wishing good for the soul, really offering their prayers to the chanting of the holy names, that soul is so grateful to everybody. He just keeps on blessing everybody who is praying for him, because at that time, what is fuel for him to travel further is the prayers that are sincerely offered from the bottom of the heart. So these are all very powerful but very subtle things, and it means too much for us when we actually are in the stage. I don't know how I will be when I will die, how I will feel when I will not be able to connect with any of us after I die. Today I am able to communicate. I talk to you, I can force myself on you to communicate with me. But when I leave this body, it is not possible for me to communicate with you. I may see everything what's happening, the vidhi that is happening, but I may not tell you, oh dear son, this is wrong, you do it rightly. I can't communicate that. So that time I only depend on the prayerful activities, the prayerful rituals that everybody performs. So all of us have gathered today. The real purpose of gathering here is to offer prayers for Mother. Heartfelt prayers, best wishes. And the best wishes and the heartfelt prayers can be offered only by the means of prayer through chanting the holy name of the Lord. Name of the Lord, Krishna, Ramachandra, Vamana, Narasimha, whatever names we know, Vishnu, all the bona fide thousands of names of the Lord, or we love one name of the Lord, the Supreme Lord. When we chant that name of the Lord with love and devotion and affection and gratitude, those names will give strength for the soul for the onward journey. So we come and eat food, we have Mitra Bhojana, we have Shraadha Bhojana. Everything is an external part of it. But the internal part of it, while eating each morsel of this prasadam, we have to offer our prayers for our beloved who has departed. What it really means is that even when we come to wedding, it's not just to talk to each other we come. That's one of the purpose, to have social interactions. The best and the most purpose of coming to a wedding is to offer blessings to the couple who is getting married. Offer all our heartfelt prayers and best wishes for the boy and a girl who are entering in Grahastha ashram. So similarly, when we come for Shraadha ceremony, 12-13 days program or Varsha Shraadha or whatever, we are only coming here to offer our heartfelt prayers. Even we may not eat the Shraadha Bhojan, but we must offer heartfelt prayers. Because the soul who has departed from the company of all of us, the family gathering of all of us, is longing for your prayers, is dependent on your prayers. So please spend a few minutes definitely in offering prayers for dear Mother. And few things which are, as I already explained few things, but some few things are remaining. What are the must activities during the Shraadha? One of them is Brahmana Bhojana. We have to feed the Brahmanas very lovingly, gently, with honor and respect, satisfy them. Second is, we have to give them dakshina. There are 16 items scriptures mention, and in the end it is mentioned Yatha Shakti. That means we may not have power to give a golden throne, for example, which is also mentioned in the list. But maybe Shastra, maybe Lakshmi, maybe cloth, maybe umbrella, maybe bedstead, maybe chatai. There are 16 items are there. But any one or one or more than one or all, with great love and respect, has to be offered to Brahmanas as dakshina. Very, very important, because through the Brahmana's mouth and through their satisfaction, the Supreme Lord is pleased. Like we offer oblations to fire, that is called as mouth of Vishnu, Agni. And through the mouth of Vishnu, that is Agni Devata, Lord Vishnu accepts our offerings. So we offer oblations to the fire also. We give Brahman Bhojana, we give Brahman Dakshina. And one thing which many people don't know, I must tell you, and I will like to you to know, is a small story from Mahabharata must be told. In Mahabharata Mahatmya, the glories of Mahabharata, it is explained that Mahabharata story is so powerful that if it is recited during the Shraadha ceremony, without Mahabharata's Katha being recited, the Shraadha is complete to be incomplete. And if you recite a story of Mahabharata during the Shraadha, before, after, during, in between, or remember the story of Mahabharata, or hear the story of Mahabharata through tape or audio recording, that will give such a support to the departed soul. The Shraddha will be complete, the purpose of Shraddha will be complete in helping the deceased soul to advance further in his journey or her journey towards the Supreme Lord. So I will tell you Mahabharata story in 2 minutes. How we can recite Mahabharata story in 3 lines? I will tell you now. And please do that with this knowledge. Even if there is no program for reciting Mahabharata Katha in a particular Shraddha ceremony, you sit and recite these 3 lines. Then the deceased soul will get the benefit. What is the story? Before the Mahabharata war, Arjuna was completely confused. He didn't know what to do. Krishna came up in picture and he smiled, and then Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to him. The song of God, Bhagavad Gita, that is the song of God. And it was a supreme psychotherapy that Krishna gave to Arjuna. After hearing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, Nashta moho smritir labdhva, karishye vachanam tava. Now I will do whatever you say. I have understood, I have got my memory back, I have lost all my illusion. Now I will do whatever you tell me. Karishye vachanam tava. Mahabharata story is over. Or we can elaborately explain about Vanvas, about so many things are there. 100,000 verses are there for earthly Mahabharata. Total there are 100,000 verses, 60 lakh verses are there. But for earth, there is Mahabharata of 1 lakh verses. We can recite 1 verse of that, or we can recite these 3 lines, or 1 line of Bhagavad Gita we can recite and discuss. So for the benefit of mother, I have recited the Mahabharata story. That Arjuna, the greatest Arya, who knows the progressive values of life, also was confused for his duties, what to do. He spoke for a long time and Krishna spoke after that. He listened patiently. He gave up his friendly position and became a disciple of Krishna for that time. He listened to Bhagavad Gita and all his illusion, doubts were dispelled. And he took up the Gandiva bow which he had dropped, he picked up again and he shot the arrows and he won the war, because he did that in service to the Supreme Lord, not for his own personal equations. He did it for Dharma. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. He fought the war for the Lord, no more for himself or his selfish attitude. So with these few words, I am grateful to all of you. Let us do everything in life with deep contemplation and meditation and meaning. Let us not be superficial in doing anything, or let us do anything, plan anything to do with a deep thought and meaning. Let us not do it in a most boring way, most uninterested way. That's what the misfortune of today's age is. Whatever you do, please do it with thought, with faith, with your heart. Don't do it heartlessly, thoughtlessly and purposelessly. Because our time also is precious. If I do something which is purposeless and meaningless, I am wasting my time. But if I have to do it, I do it with my heart, with my soul, with my mind and my dedication. Then whatever benefit is expected will be achieved. But we do it without faith, it is useless waste of time, money, energy of you and many people. Let us do it with heart, and then Lord will bless us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So let us chant one Mahamantra for Mother. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.